A humble soul. We checking back in, man. Yeah, we got a for sure, man. We got a NOOG, a dope lyricist. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who is a gold-selling artist. You know what I mean?
Oh, that album platinum now, man.
You platinum now?
Oh, that album platinum.
Excuse me.
That shit gold in like that album went gold in a month. The Brick Living album, that shit was gold in a month. I was in the project I talk a lot about my life and my music, and I was serious when I said when Brick Living went gold, I was in the project told my gun.
Yeah.
It's facts. We hadn't got the check from it or nothing. I mean, we hadn't got money from P, but I was in the project, walking around with my gun.
I mean, for taking it from the top, man, I mean, you a real, like, NO living legend. You know what I'm saying? From the streets to the rap. You know, I know you represent the 3rd Ward, but you bounced all the way around. I know you
represent the city.
One parent from the 12th, one parent from the 9th. You know what I'm saying? You came up in the 3rd.
That's something.
You know, in the 3rd Ward in particular, you know, it's real notorious. You know what I'm saying? On one side, but it's also known musically.
Everywhere like that.
I was gonna ask you about that. Is it just one of the more popular parts of the city, or is it more savage than other areas?
The city was wow. Like it wasn't no like one ward. Our ward was so crazy because we had 3 projects in Health Mac in the county. And then I mean like that's what made people feel like our ward was so notorious because it was the Magnolia in the county. 3 different projects, and that's a big old project.
Sure. How many people you think is in each one of them, or how many like units? Do you know? We talking about hundreds of people?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. 500 on the new side, 500 on the old side.
That's right. And one project.
That's one project, yeah. Because it's old side and new side. You know, everybody call them different ways. We usually call it the old side, new side.
Sure.
We hump fuck and blow your house down. You tangle with 3rd Ward killers in their own battleground.
Right here, I want to ask you about something. You know what I'm saying? Coming out of
ain't nothing you can't ask me.
3rd Ward, you know, New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Uptown. During the early '90s, there was a famous interview of Soulja Slim saying if somebody was off the porch in '94 in New Orleans, he was a gangster.
I was outside.
And just listen to your music. Obviously, you was outside. I think you had one song where you said you was wanted in like 92, 93, 94, 95. So why would he say, you know what I'm saying,
because
like that made you a gangster?
It was in that time. Like that was probably one of our first highest murder rates. And like I remember one time, right? Me and Spit on the road, and he pulled the Dirt on stage, right, in Chicago. When the Dirt get off stage, me and his DJ, which is his daddy friend, we just talking. And Dirt get in the conversation, he like, Chicago way more notorious. Like, we just having a conversation. And I'm like, no, you're not. Reason being is because somebody could get killed on the other side of Chicago and you not gonna know him. In New Orleans, if somebody get killed right now, I'm gonna know the killer or the person who got killed. It don't matter where it happened. That's unheard of in Chicago. You don't know them people like because our city's so small. So it affects us. Every murder affects New Orleans. Every murder don't affect everywhere like that. Because it affects us like that because we're so small. The city's so small. So you got people feeling some kind of way because his cousin killed his cousin and that starts other shit.
Yeah.
So that's why shit be so long lasting.
Yeah.
That bitch ain't put a block wrong. You can get in and out there in 45 minutes. Chicago not like that. Like there ain't nobody in the city who I could say I don't know. If you tell me who he is, I probably might not know him, but if you go down his background, I know who his dad is, grandpa, his uncle. It's no such thing as me not knowing him.
Damn.
It don't happen.
You locked in like that?
It's not me. It's the city that's small. Like, it's not just me. Don't get that twisted. That's not me big enough myself. I'm showing you how small the city is. Everybody know each other. If nigga from uptown, he probably got a baby mama downtown. He got an auntie. downtown, cousin. Kind of see what I'm saying? In our city, so small, like, man, you get through New Orleans in 30 minutes.
That's
Doing
weird.
70 miles per hour.
My people's like, bro. Never thought the Calliope and Magnolia would hook up, but now they like, bro.
So you was in the mix before, like even the Calliope and the Magnolia clashed. So you saw it before all that when they was cool. Give a history lesson on that, bro.
When I first came, when I was younger, Calliope and the Magnolia was cool.
Around what age you talking about?
I probably was young, man. 9, 10 years old. But I was seeing things that was going on. But you gotta understand, bro. Like our projects, like you could run to the Calliope from the Magnolia.
They that close together?
Yes. Talking about a mile.
For real?
Like, yes, literally. So I saw them fall out, get back together. But all right, let's just say in my time. Gangster and Randall, OG Randall, they was boom boom. Good partners. OG Stone, all of them was partners. I think like what people don't talk about, and I'm gonna speak on this as soon as we get off this, is the Calliope and the Magnolia don't talk about how we got tricked in the beat.
Y'all got tricked into the beat.
Oh, we got tricked in the beat. Like, dude, it's a big dog out the hill named Randall. And
They thought Gangsta killed him.
but it didn't happen. But Gangsta never had that conversation with them, or they didn't never have that conversation for it to be like that. Shit just popped.
Is it because it's pride? Like if you think
Definitely
I
pride.
did it, then
But
let you
pride
think.
can't outweigh friendship. Because years later, and a few months after, they got to have that conversation. Gangsta and Dub had that conversation. That's why they're not at it now. Because now we figure out that that wasn't the thing. But now we got all these kids that done took on all them walls. This shit been going on for the last 15 years, 20 years now.
Is it similar to like in Cali with the Bloods and Crips where like youngsters inherit the beef, they don't even know what they killing
we
over?
gave them the dudes that beef.
Yeah.
Like the Magnolia in the Cali, ain't got no business what they beefing for. Like I got god kids in the Cali right now.
For real.
There's a lot of dudes who got kids out the Cali, who dudes out the Cali who got kids in the Magnolia.
Yeah.
That shit was pride and motherfuckers not being able to come together and have a conversation. And both sides was really gangsters, like it was toys. But I know if that conversation would have been had, because it wasn't like the Magnolia wasn't excited about Randall getting killed. Like shit wasn't cool for us. Slim was a G. Fuck Slim. That's like we would have felt the same way in the Magnolia if that would have happened to Stone. We wouldn't have had no questions. If Stone would have got something would have happened to Stone, cause that was like our big dog, right? It's more big dog back there, like do not get it twisted, right? But at that time, like that was our big dog, who was out there and who was looking out for everybody and kept the peace, right? And we heard the Calliope killed Stone, we went crazy. That's what the Calliope did, but it was just a conversation that could have been had. And like I always look at that when everybody be talking about the Calliope and the Magnolia beef, I was like, boy, we got tricked. Like some of the most gangsters, motherfuckers you can talk about, really got tricked to go against each other. And at that time, I was just talking to one of my partners. I was like, "Say when that Calliope and that Magnolia was together, they had been pulled into Gertown. The murder rate wasn't like that. And nobody want no problem with them dudes. I was with them, but it was more big dog. But nobody didn't want no problem. Everybody was getting money. We was all hanging. We used to switch calls and all kind of shit like that. Shit used to be different. That's why, like, we got babies in different spots.
Yeah.